The following program contains shocking assertions of truth. If you suffer from relativism, Randall may not be right for you. Check with your local guru.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and the legend continues to grow. I love you. Welcome to today's program. All Republican eyes in support of the family are on Arnold Schwarzenegger. Save us, Arnold. And Babs, Barbara Streisand, she disses the president and doesn't even show up to her own party. And Israel told, you've got 8 days to bomb. 8 days to bomb, to show how much I love you. 8 days to bomb, to show the world you really care. You know we need your bombing. Yes, you know it's true. Come on, Israel, bomb them. Bomb them like you do. Oh. All right, you got to get out of this, Randall. Today's program brought to you in part by the GOP. Godless opponents of principle, and by CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, seeking to build a military outpost at Ground Zero. Before we go any further, a moment of brilliance, if I do declare, with my good friend, Sir Reginald Bling. Just turn the thing on, I got something to say. Now, when President Obama talked about putting a mosque at Ground Zero, I thought to myself, is the man on stupid pills? But I already knew the question, and I knew the answer. The answer is he is addicted to stupidity. But what's funny is to watch everybody else, Democrat, Republican, black, white, they are running away from this fool saying, I am not with him. Mr. President, if you want to be president of Jordan or of Syria, then get your hind end over there and run. But if you want to be president of the United States, learn to shut your mouth. Welcome to today's program, friend. You know what? I have to tell you right now. Today is one of those high-octane days. I've been drinking coffee for 48 hours straight without sleep, and I'm doing the show because the show must go on. Turn to the camera, Randall. Talk about the news. All right, you've heard about it. President Obama with his crazy, insane comments about the mosque. But I've got to have some fun with this. Just please. I know I'm a little behind the curve, but it's worth the wait. Here's what President said. Muslims have the same right to practice their religion as everyone else in this country. That includes the right to build a place of worship and a community center on private property in Lower Manhattan in accordance with local laws and ordinances. As you know, the Islamic religion includes beheading people for certain crimes. They're going to have an actual beheading parlor right there in the mosque, should they get it open, to practice their religion. But beyond that, the president said the next day, he said, I was not commenting, and I will not comment on the wisdom of making a decision to put a mosque there. I was commenting very specifically on the right of that people, on the right that people have that dates back to our founding. He was talking about the First Amendment. Well, Mr. President, first of all, I'm so shocked and frankly flattered that you even know about the Constitution, that in the next segment of my show, I'm going to dedicate a song to you about the amendments. This from the president, who thinks that the federal government should be able to take over General Motors. I love this. But beyond that, the president said, and again I quote because it's so rich, I was not commenting on the wisdom of making a decision to put the mosque there. No, nor will I comment on that wisdom. Mr. President, has the Islamic cat got your tongue? You've said things that everyone shrunk back from, leapt at. You'll talk about hope, growth, and opportunity. You'll give us the wisdom of your mind any day of the week on any topic. And suddenly, You don't have the courage to say something about the wisdom of putting a mosque at ground zero? I don't think this is about wisdom, Mr. President. I think it's about courage and honesty. I think it's about you pandering to Muslims in America and around the world. I think that you think they should go ahead and have one there. I just don't think you have the guts to say it, and you're trying to pawn it off on wisdom. I have this request to make on my behalf and on behalf of millions of other Americans. Since you're not going to comment on the wisdom of a mosque at Ground Zero in New York City, we would ask that for 3 days you fast. Not a fast of food and water, Mr. President, but a fast of words. Shut your mouth. For 3 days, you not say nothing about nothing. You not give us any wisdom about anything. And we be very happy to have 3 days break from you. Yes? Good? It's good? Yeah. To the Republicans. As you know, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has struck down the tyrant federal judge there at homosexual, the homosexual judge, Judge Walker, struck down his banning of the Proposition 8, and has said to the Alliance Defense Fund, who is helping bring this case to the Ninth Circuit, said, hey, guys, you've got to show us how you've got any standing. And you know why? Because Secretary of State, or rather the Attorney General of the state of California, Jerry Brown, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor, they've said full steam ahead with sodomite marriages. Yes, full steam ahead from Republicans. This is so juicy I can barely hold back my joy. Some of you with very short memories don't remember that a fine man named Tom McClintock ran for governor against Arnold Schwarzenegger in a primary. McClintock, a devout Christian, pro-life, pro-marriage, a brilliant political and economic mind. He was neck and neck with Schwarzenegger, who was a left-wing lunatic, baby-killing, pro-sodomite marriage left-winger who just happens to have GOP after his name. And guess what? Sean Hannity, Sean Hannity of Hannity and Combs, had the governor on his show. And through his weight and his TV show and his radio show against Tom McClintock and in favor of Arnold Schwarzenegger, knowing that Schwarzenegger was an enemy of these issues of ethics. And so now, it's really funny, now when we need the governor of California to do the right thing, we've got a Republican there, thank the good heavens. Only it's a Republican who's our enemy. And why is that? It's because conservative talk radio hosts and conservative TV hosts got behind somebody who they thought had a better chance of winning. They prostituted the Republican Party. They pimped for somebody who was an enemy of justice and freedom and liberty, and they wanted to do it. Why? Because they wanted to win. Yeah. They wanted victory more than they wanted truth and justice. And so now they have neither. They don't have a victory in this fight, and they don't have truth and justice because they sold out. Now, when I come back from this break, we're going to have that song that I told you about the amendments for President Obama. And then we're going to talk about a Rasmussen poll. And I'm going to give you a little history lesson about the GOP, because right now the GOP is up in a nationwide survey, 12 points for congressional seats. And so what's their campaign slogan? The Democrats are taking us over the cliff at 100 miles an hour. We propose that we slow down to 80 miles an hour. That's genius.
There's a yard sale in the neighborhood. We need parking. Let's buy the yard.
Moments with Moses. Cursed shall be your basket and your kneading trough. Cursed shall be the fruit of your body and the fruit of your ground, the increase of your cattle and the young of your flock.
Welcome back to the program, friend. President Obama defends defending that First Amendment right of the Muslims. Dar al-Islam, Dar al-Harb, Miktub al-Na'am. Al-Akbar. That's that song my wife really loves. There are women sing it all the time. Anyway, here's a song for the president about the Constitution. Do you know your amendments, Mr. President?
Friend, we do it right because we do it twice. The 14th Amendment is so we can kill babies. The First Amendment is for gay marriage. And the Second Amendment is freedom from religion. What a great Bill of Rights we have. The Third Amendment gives us free health care. The Fourth Amendment bails out the banks. The Fifth Amendment gives the FBI power. What a great Bill of Rights we have. Do you know your amendments? Do you know what makes this country great? George Washington, Tommy Jefferson, they fought so we could all be slaves. The Sixth Amendment is the right to a new house. The Seventh Amendment is cash for clunkers. And the Eighth Amendment is the dollar for the euro. What a great Bill of Rights we have. The Ninth Amendment is the right to free college. The 10th Amendment tells the states, shut up, sit down. The 11th Amendment guarantees diversity. A great Bill of Rights we have. Do you know your amendments? Do you know what makes this country great? George Washington, Tommy Jefferson, they fought so we could all be slaves. The 12th Amendment is tolerance for Islam. The 13th Amendment is for bad luck. And the 14th Amendment is so we can kill babies. What a great Bill of Rights we have. I love this country.
Thank you. Thank you very much. By the way, in case any of you don't know, those amendments, they don't say that. I made that stuff up. The amendments say something else. You should read it. It's in the Constitution. All right, anyway, I got to take a quick break. When we come back, the newest, coolest Rasmussen poll telling us how the GOP is riding to the rescue. White knights in shining armor that are going to take us from the very jaws of hell like a damsel in distress, and take us and lock us away in a tower with Rapunzel and Rasmussen and characters I've never even heard of that came alive on Shrek.
Yeah, up there, our police escort. We're that important, baby. Oh, thanks. You guys are awesome. Stopping traffic for us. Thank you.
Democracy is a very bad form of government, except for all the others that have been tried from time to time. Sir Winston Churchill.
Welcome back to the program, friend. This show is blazing hot. It's so bright I had to put on sunglasses, lest I make myself go blind. Rasmussen just released a poll that the Democratic Party is down. I repeat, down 12 points in a nationwide generic congressional poll. I don't even know what that means. What it means is, if the election was today, would you vote for a Democrat, a Republican, or somebody else? The Republicans are up 12 points. This is amazing for the GOP. But you know what? I got to tell you, I am not excited. No, I'm not. because I've been here before. Yeah, 1994, 16 years ago, the Republican Revolution, the contract with America. Do you remember it? Think back. We were sold a bill of goods by Newt Gingrich. The line I came up with for Newt was, Vini, Vici, Vende. He came, he saw, he sold out. There was no substance. The debt kept going up. Deficit spending kept going up. Government programs continued to balloon. They didn't deal with the Department of Education. Never mind child killing or militant homosexual rights. No. They didn't even deal with education. Didn't deal with Planned Parenthood. Giving condoms to teenagers. Those were our Republican saviors, ladies and gentlemen. Liars and thieves. Randall, are you saying that we should not vote Republican? No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, learn about your candidate. Don't be a partisan voter. Vote for principle. Now, here are some practical ways, okay, that you can be involved that will actually change the course of this country. Listen closely. You take my advice, you help this country, okay? Number one, if the Republican Party calls you on the phone, the national party, all right, phone's ringing, you pick it up. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Smith. I'm from the GOP, and we're seeking to take America back and to stop Obama's agenda, blah, blah, blah.
Say to them, oh, you're from the Republican Party?
Yes, I am.
Randall Terry told me to tell you, go to HE double hockey sticks. Or, Randall Terry told me to tell you, go to HE double toothpicks. Or, Randall Terry told me, take your damnable agenda back to hell where it came from. Don't give the Republican Party any money. Zippo, nada. You don't know how much they'll be giving it to guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Who right now is opposing marriage in California. Principle, principle, principle. If you're going to give money to a campaign, which you should, give it to Sharon Angles in Nevada against Terry Reid. Give it to Rand Paul. Those two races, without question, hands down, are the most important two races in the country right now. Rand Paul, because he's the son of Ron Paul, because he's running on a libertarian economic agenda, because he's hardcore pro-life. He's the real article, okay? That's why Rand Paul. Number two, was Sharon Angle against Harry Reid. Harry Reid is the second most powerful man in America. Obama's betting the farm on this guy. And if Harry Reid goes down in a ball of flames, President Obama is politically doomed in 2012. So if you want to have a real impact, my advice to you is actually move to Kentucky for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and volunteer your heart out, either in Kentucky or Nevada. Give financially to these candidates and fight for all you're worth according to principle, not party. And then when you come up against somebody who's a Republican, who's a villain, or a ditz, or a deceiver, don't vote for him. Don't vote for him. You go off the cliff at 80 miles an hour or 100, you still feel the same at the bottom, Alice. You're still smushed. Hello?
May his days be few. May another seize his goods. May his children be fatherless and his wife a widow. May his children wander about and beg. May they be driven out of the ruins they inhabit.
George Washington said, "The common and continual mischiefs of the spirit of party are sufficient to make it the interest and duty of a wise people to discourage and restrain it." He wasn't talking about, hey, you got a party spirit. No. He was talking about partisan politics, the spirit of party. He said there's a lot of mischief with it. A wise people will restrain it. I'll be honest with you. I hope that the Democratic Party gets their clock cleaned this November. I really do. However, I've been down this path before, and some of you have as well. I don't want to see Tyrant A thrown out and Tyrant B put in his place. I don't want to see Arnold Schwarzeneggers and Scott Browns of Massachusetts and Arlen Specters, who used to be a Republican of Pennsylvania. I'm weary of it. So my point is this: have a passion for justice, not party. God bless you.